Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. It's Miss Panda in the building, and I'm here to do a reaction on Atlanta Street Interview's latest video with a lady that goes by the name of Westindiecollection. I also want to discuss how Sunnyi is handling her semi-breakup status with Marcus, the infamous Marcus child. But before we get started, y'all know exactly what y'all have to do. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification button so you'll be notified whenever this channel drops any new content. I want to start off with Westindiecollection. So basically, she's a single mom of two adorable boys. One is 9 years old and the other one is 1 year old. She says she became homeless because of a noise complaint by a nosy neighbor. So her apartment complex terminated her lease. Her oldest son has behavioral issues, which makes it very difficult to find people who are willing to take them in because of his behavior. Neither of their dads are involved in the kids' lives. She mentioned being a sex worker, doing OnlyFans and other sexual jobs to provide for her and her kids, and she also is a housekeeper at a hotel by day. She stays in a shelter, but sometimes will get hotels for days at a time for her and the boys.
I am.
Okay, and so how old are you?
I'm 29.
29? Okay, and so how long have you been homeless?
I've been homeless since January of last year.
Okay, January. So about a year and change. And so what was to happen last January to cause you to become homeless?
So I was in an apartment, but I have two boys. So I'm a boy mom. And the neighbor below us, she used to stay like complaining about, I guess, my kids making noise. So she would always go to management, complain. So basically we got like a lease like violation. And so basically my lease will be terminated.
Yeah.
So that sucks, and I really didn't know what to do in that situation. I was disappointed because I really liked the apartment and everything, and I just feel like, you know, God don't like ugly. So basically, since I knew we had to leave anyway, I ended up didn't pay my last month's rent. This was like around Christmas time, mind you. So I was going through a lot, and so basically it turned into like an eviction, because I still kind of owed money from the previous month. Even if I did try to like pay that following month, but since they were kicking us out anyway, I didn't know like I was still responsible for paying last month's rent, because it was they were terminating me. So I didn't understand, because you know I'm new to this, so I didn't know that that's how it still works.
So basically it sounds like to me she was already financially in a hole because she had owed them rent money from the previous month. And then if you pair that with the noise complaint that the neighbor kept complaining about her and her kids, that was just enough to just, I guess, terminate whatever. They just probably was just tired. She's not paying. And then we getting all these complaints about her. So basically, in so many words, she got to go. So I don't understand, you know, with her being almost 30, that regardless of whether you get an eviction or not, that still goes on your credit. You're still responsible for that. So I don't know. I call BS on that. She's out in the world, so she's not new to this. So I don't know who she's trying to like fool. But anyway, let's continue.
How long had you been in that apartment for?
For a couple months, I would say since maybe June, July.
Where'd you live before that?
From the south side. So I've been living on the south side of Atlanta.
Okay, were you living like by yourself or with somebody?
With my kids.
Okay.
Yeah, my kids live with me.
And so
my thing is, what does that have to do with her being homeless? Him asking her who she lived with. It's like everything that he asked, all the questions that he asked always has some type of like sexual innuendo or some type of, you know, undertone to it. Like all the time. Like he is just so messy to me and he's just a horn dog, if you will.
well, I guess I'm just trying to figure out, before you was in this apartment that you was in for a few months, you was living in another apartment or a house, or was you living with someone, or what was the deal?
I was homeless before that too, but I was like in Airbnbs and stuff for a while.
That's like really
expensive. Got into that. Yeah, I've been going through it. So like people, you know, maybe strangers have like helped me on the streets, you know, because I don't have no family here or nothing like that. And so basically, once we left that apartment, I then was homeless. You know, had to do the someone offered me to stay with them. But you know how that go, like dealing with my kids and stuff. So they kicked us out.
Who was it that offered you to stay there?
Somebody that I knew that I used to be cool with, and they did us dirty.
Was it like a female
ugly.
or a male?
Yes.
Female?
It was like a female couple.
You said female couple?
Yeah. So like they were married, like two female, like a stud, and they did me dirty. What happened? Well, we were in their, their place or whatever, and then I just felt like she would be mean to my oldest son, like, and
how
she
old
just started
are your kids, by the way?
One's 9, one is 1.
Okay.
And
that's
like
a nice little gap.
Yeah.
Same dad or different dads?
Different dads.
Different dads. Okay.
During this interview, in true Marcus fashion, he made inappropriate comments about her body. He seemed really intrigued when she mentioned that she was that she was a sex worker. He also seemed to be really, really interested in the fact that she wanted bigger breasts, and she also mentioned that she got a BBL done. To me, it really doesn't look like she got anything done to her body, really. I mean, you can kind of tell that she got her breast done, because they kind of like, how natural breasts, it doesn't have like that natural breast look or shape. Natural breasts, I can't explain it. They look more like teardrops to me, more so than breast implants. They look more like circles, like headlights. They more round, if that makes sense, and more hard and firm or whatever. But far as her body is like straight up and down. She's not fat, but she's not curvy either. She doesn't look bad for somebody who literally just gave birth a year ago to a baby. Like, her body doesn't look bad at all, but she doesn't really have curves. So I can kind of understand why she want to get fillers in certain spaces. Like, she doesn't really have hips and just different things like that in her butt. It doesn't look BBL like. Maybe she was just going for the natural look, I guess. I don't know. I just felt it was gross how he was just salivating over her doing this interview. He can never be professional when he interviews people. It's like he sees a beautiful woman. It's like he just can't help himself. He can't resist with the creepy, weird comments. He kept telling her how gorgeous she was and gushing over her like he wanted to jump on her right then and there if she would have let him, and then he wasn't outside. But then again, being outside probably never would have stopped him. You never know how Marcus is. He asked her why she wanted to get her body done, and she explained that she likes the fake look and she wanted to look more filled in as far as her body, which I can understand. I explained to you that she's basically kind of just like straight up and down. It's not a bad shape, but she's just like really pencil thin, like up and down, no curves. So she hustled and she worked hard and she saved her money to get her body done. But my thing is that I hope I'm not being funny, but why can't she apply that same principle to like her living situation? You see how ambitious she was when she was really, really determined that she wanted to get work done on her body, and how she worked and she saved and she hustled and she was able to stack her money up to, get her lips filled in and get all these things done. So my thing is, why can't you apply that same principle and that same discipline towards saving money so that you and your kids could be in a better living situation instead of just living in hotels, Airbnbs, and staying from house to house with different people who mistreat you in different shelters and stuff like that. I watched some of her videos and she be balling out. She be spending her fair share of money. Like, she be spending money on hotels, and they be some pretty decent looking hotels. It ain't no cheap Motel 6. Not to be saying there's anything wrong with the Motel 6. Like, when we traveled, and we needed to stay in a Motel 6, I stayed there. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie. But the hotels that she be staying in be looking pretty, extravagant or whatever. Which I can understand her doing that, because according to her, her and her kids are in a shelter most of the time, but she claims that the workers treat them badly. You have some workers that just, think that just because they're employed and, that they're better than, some of the people who live in their shelter, when in reality, a lot of them are just one paycheck away from being homeless themselves. But they somehow feel like it's just because they get a paycheck and they work, and that these people have to, depend or report to them, that they somehow feel like they're better than them. And that's not the case. I don't like people who like look down on people, because they think that they're, and they're less fortunate and they think they're better. I don't like that. She took her son to the mall and bought him shoes and bought herself bra and panty sets from Victoria's Secret. Now, if anybody's ever been to Victoria's Secret, if they don't have their bra and panties and stuff like that on sale, they could be quite expensive. They can cost a pretty penny. That's why I usually wait for the semi sale that they usually have to go and get stuff for myself or whatever. And they did a spa day where her and her son, they both got pedicures, which I thought that was nice. So it's not that she doesn't have money. She just doesn't know how to manage she doesn't know how to budget. She has like high expenditure taste and she likes very extravagant things. The bottom line is this. Me personally, if I'm homeless, whether that's sleeping on the street, which I've been fortunate enough not to have to sleep on the street. I'm not going to lie and sit up there and try to act like I've never been homeless before. But it wasn't like sleeping on the street homeless or sleeping in my car homeless. It was staying with like different family members, you know, until this person got tired and then I would go stay somewhere else and so forth and so on. But if my living situation isn't stable, the last thing I'm going to be thinking about is shopping unless it's absolutely necessary. And I mean, when I say shopping, I mean like necessities like food, you know, like deodorant, toiletries, you know, pads, those things that you like absolutely need on a day-to-day basis, not no expensive shoes and this and that. I'm not thinking about that. She has our priorities screwed up, but want to come up here and beg for money and help because I guess she figured if she did the interview with Marcus, you know, I'm sure they probably already knew about each other, but if she did the interview with Marcus, I'm quite sure by watching his channel, she see how other people, you know, come and do an interview. And I don't think she wanted that little flimsy $10 because she rides around in a Mercedes Benz, which whether it was previously owned or not, a Mercedes Benz is not a cheap car because the maintenance on it alone is expensive. It's expensive to maintain that car. And, you know, she probably saw that they can post their cash apps and, you know, a lot of viewers feel sorry for them and donate to them or whatever. So she probably was looking for a come up in that way or whatever. It's like she buys what she wants and begs for what she needs. So getting back to this cringy interview with Marcus. Also, she stated that he just kept telling her how beautiful her lips was. It was just really weird. It was really, 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 really weird.
As I stopped like kind of promoting more of my porn star stuff and deleting stuff, I noticed my like, you know, stuff started fading down a little bit.
You say you started deleting stuff?
Like as I'm like slowly like slipping away from that type of like stuff, I noticed like my followers and stuff will start slipping away. Like me, like what do I say, like my, I guess, clientele, like the stuff just started slipping away, you know?
So, because I'm trying to figure out, like, so if at one point you was doing the physical meet and greets, right? And then you started doing OnlyFans at some point too, it sounds
I started OnlyFans in 2018 before it blew up, before Beyonce put it in her song. Like now everybody's like doing it. But I started it like back then.
Were you making good money back then?
Yeah, because at first
what do you consider good money?
Good money allow me to pay my bills and still have fun, like go on trips or get my body done.
So if I wanted to put a number on it, like how much per month or whatever?
Per month? On OnlyFans on top of like just what I would get off of that? I never really did the math.
Not really a numbers person? I mean, would you say above or under 10,000 a month?
Oh, I'll say under 10,000, but definitely like in the thousands.
Okay, so in the thousands for sure. You said about getting your body done?
Yeah.
And so
I invested in myself.
What have you gotten done?
I got it.
That's what I mean when I say it's not that this young lady doesn't have money. Her circumstances are a little bit different than like the Josiah's. Her circumstances is different than Yana and like Monique and like it's different because she's homeless. But I feel like in some ways, and some people may quote me if I'm wrong, if you can tell me if I'm wrong, this is my opinion. And I'm entitled to my opinion, you're entitled to yours. But I feel like a lot of the reasons why she's homeless is because of her. And the reason why I say that, I don't feel like she's a bad person, but it sounds to me, I'm going according to what I hear her say out of her mouth. And it's her spending habits. Like I said, she likes high expenditure items. She likes to take trips. She likes to do those types of things. But she doesn't have the money to do both, if that makes sense. Because she has the 2 kids and she wants to live like this Instagram, video vixen, traveling the world, rapper's girlfriend type of lifestyle, if that makes sense. And you got to realize that you're a mother and you have to buckle down, that you have children that you have to provide for. So she has to live a more practical lifestyle. Either that or she has to make more money. You know, one or the other.
First, I got a breast augmentation. I had to do that like twice, and then I got a BBL.
Can we see what you got?
And then lip fillers at one point.
So, you got lip fillers?
Well, it died down.
I was about to say, those look so natural.
I got it like I'll say about maybe like a year ago.
A year ago?
Yeah, when I was like,
Okay.
25.
So can we take and see, you know, as far as like what?
I want to get another one, but my booty like sits more. I just want more like a little bit more lipo and like little hip fillers, but that's not like right now all season my
Well,
situation.
no, right, but I guess so. What
and
I'm
I just had a baby too, so y'all got to keep in mind, just had a baby. I'm not that far.
Can we see like, because
oh yeah,
we don't see any.
No, I'm confused. I'm really, really confused because it's like, on one hand, it's like you want to feel sorry for her because it's like she keeps mentioning she has her children, which we know she has her 2 kids, but it's like, and it's like she's using her kids to make, I guess, tug at people's heartstrings and make them feel sorry for her so that they can want to, you know, cash app and donate or whatever. But my thing is the money that's going to be donated to her going to go towards providing a better quality of life for her kids, like putting towards a savings for getting another place, even if she got a 1-bedroom apartment? You know, she has 2 boys. She could put the 2 boys in a room together and she could just, you know, thug it out in the living room until she, you know, stacks up enough money to, you know, get like maybe a 2-bedroom or a townhouse or whatever where they could be comfortable. But at least they'll have a home, an address, and a place to come to. But it seems to me like right now her priority, I'm listening to what she's saying, and I don't know if we're hearing the same thing. Her priority right now is just her getting her body done. Her getting her lips filled in. Her getting her butt done. Her getting her hips bigger. That's what it seems like her priority is. It don't seem like she's really, really thinking about those children as far as where they gonna stay at, really. That seemed like that's a second thought. It seemed like her first thought is her getting her body together.
Any of that, like when I saw you walking up, I was like, this girl's no way she's pregnant. Wow, you look.
I don't have hip dips.
Can you like
anymore.
turn? Okay. And so where did you get the BBL done at?
My BBL, I got my BBL done in Miami.
Okay. So you got it done in Miami. And so you say that you want to go back and get more work done.
Yeah, probably like in my 30s. Like I want bigger boobs and
bigger boobs. These are pretty big. Can we just show the audience?
I like the porn star titties. I like that
you
look.
Like
I like
big,
the fake look.
Like pressing up into like the chin.
I like the fake look. That's what I'm into. And then like as far as my body, like don't get me wrong, like I love like my body. Like I could go, you know, I still wouldn't work out, all that stuff. But like I just want like a little bit more like filler. To where I don't have to get like surgery, but like just fillers in my hips just to be more curvier right here.
I just think that looks so good right now. I don't like, what the heck are you? Yeah. I'm gonna.
It's just
I don't know what Marcus is talking about, but he sounded like he was drooling to me. Talking about, I just think that looks so good right there. What are you gonna do? Something that sounds a little suspect to me. See, that's why this interview sent Sunnyi on a tangent. Homegirl was absolutely livid at the way Marcus was ogling and carrying on over this young lady. She cussed Marcus behind out from one end of YouTube to the other, child. Okay? Which I can't understand. I'm confused because when he asked her was they dating, she said, you know, they was kicking it or whatever. She, you know, she didn't seem like she was really that pressed over him until he stopped calling her. Until he stopped responding to her text messages, until he started ghosting her. And then once she seen him doing interviews with other little cutie pie females, now all of a sudden she's in her feels now because she didn't have that same access to him anymore. He wasn't telling her how beautiful she was. But before, you know, I don't know, you seem like you wasn't that worried about Papa Smurf, as you call him. You said that if he stopped talking to you, you would be unbothered by it. But she seems bothered to me. I don't know if y'all see what I see. She seemed real bothered. She was upset. At one point, it looked like she was laying down in her bed, and it looked like she was crying to me. Okay? But the weird part about it, right? The weird part about it is, after all that ranting and cussing Marcus out on her live the other day, she had the nerve to do a live with him in her living room area of her house, down near where she stay at, while on camera at, you know, She was all booed up with Marcus. She had a smile on her face that resembled a Cheshire cat child. And he was just a giggler. It wasn't nothing funny, but he'd be... I don't feel like his visit was sincere. I felt like he had ulterior motives for coming over there. I felt like he really just wanted to shut her up, because she was talking crap about him and cussing him out on live. And I don't know, when they were on better terms with each other, obviously he might have shared something with her that was, personal or intimate, or something that he didn't want other people to know about. So he had to, he knew how mad she was, and probably she was on the edge of revealing something that he didn't want to come out. And I felt like he was basically doing damage control by being over there. He can't really dump her like he did Yana and Monique, because it would look worse if he did that to her because of her condition and her disabilities. It would just look really, really, really cruel. Like, how you gonna sit up there and pump this girl up, introduce her to the YouTube streets, then fall out with her, and then just discard her like she's trash? You can't do her like that, because, people will feel away, He would look like a monster, basically. He was already receiving a little bit of backlash after he distanced himself from her and was ignoring her calls and texts. It seemed like he needs Sunnyi to somehow clean up his image. So with that piece of information, if I was her, she needs to get hers from him, because he seemed like he's using her for whatever he needs from her. So she needs to get whatever she needs out of him too. My thing is, it need to be transactional. You want me to sit up there and come up on YouTube and say this? Well, you need to give me that. You need to cash at me this. I need a wheelchair. I need a refrigerator for my kitchen area. I need this. I need that. She need to do that. She prides herself by saying that she don't ever ask Marcus for sugar honey iced tea. But it doesn't make her smart. It makes her look stupid, because he gets to clean her pipes out, as he calls it, while providing the bare minimum. At the very least, instead of sitting up in her living room in her father's house, smoking and smiling and giggling at absolutely nothing, she should have at least asked him to take her outside somewhere. They could have went out to eat and to a movie. He doesn't respect her because she doesn't respect herself enough to require anything from him. She has not been outside of that house since she came back from St. Croix. Oh, wait. My bad. Her dad took her to the bank to handle some business because she asked him to. She called him one day when she was on a live, and she asked her father to take her to the bank, and he did. But other than that, like being outside just, for recreational purposes and having fun by herself or with Marcus or whatever, she hasn't done that. She's just only outside she be doing is like when she go out on the back porch and just be vaping and cooking collard greens and that type of thing. But she hasn't been like out in a car like how she was before. At this point, it seemed like Sunnyi will put up with anything to keep a man in her life. This relationship ain't going nowhere. She needs to open up her eyes and see what the world sees. She needs to have some self-respect and some dignity about herself, because he is using her. And that's just that. He can't get rid of her just yet because it will look bad for his own image and it would lower his viewership. That's all he cares about is his platform and how he look. That's it. That's all. He doesn't care about her at all. It just seems to me the way she carries herself is she just seems like she's desperate for male attention and willing to put up with just about anything to keep a man around. Sunnyi, you got to do better than what you're doing, because you have 2 girls to raise. You are their example of how they are going to allow men to treat them when they become women. They're learning how to allow people to treat them by watching you. How would you feel if it was Noelle or Nala and someone like Marcus was treating them how he's treating you? Would you be okay with them being treated this way? And would you be okay with them dating someone like Marcus? I know I absolutely wouldn't want my child to be with nobody like him, because he's cold, he's selfish, and he's mean. He tries to hide it behind a smile and a laugh and a giggle, but he's absolutely cold-hearted and mean the way he treats people. I feel like, and another thing I wanted to bring to y'all attention, I feel like she brought her stock down when she publicly apologized to him. Hell would have freezed over twice before I would have apologized to him. And if I did issue him an apology, it would have been off camera. And it would have been after he would have bought me a huge gift for ghosting me and mistreating me. You should have made him buy you something. You should have made him buy you that wheelchair. You need to get something out of it. He gonna waste your time. Get something out of it. Cause you out here looking for like a fool for a man that ain't even yours. He don't even claim you as his woman. A man who truly cares about you is supposed to come into your life and add value to it. Not just come into your life and just bring heartache and embarrassment and pain. He be embarrassing you. He lets people in his comment section talk about you. He doesn't say anything. He just laughs and giggle right along with them. The only person he take up for is himself. You come up on here and you try to act all tough like you're not bothered by nothing, but we all see that you really like this man way more than he like you, and you were genuinely hurt when he did that interview by the way he was talking to that young lady. You didn't like that at all. If you're going to date an older dude, be smart about it and get you something out of it. Like, for an example, the other day I noticed that she had cooked some lobster pasta. It was like a lobster Alfredo pasta. And it looked pretty good. It looked better than them greens she had cooked. Because, child, them greens looked like they wasn't even cooked all the way. And they looked like they wasn't even seasoned that good. But anyway. But the lobster actually looked pretty good. But I don't know if y'all noticed, like, when she was rolling around, I don't mean to be, like, making fun of it, but she do be rolling around in her wheelchair. She has, like, a little kitchen area downstairs where she stays at. But it's not set up. It doesn't have anything in there. My thing is, girl, you need to sit up there and capitalize off of this market situation. If he wants you to keep your mouth shut, girl, these are the things that Miss Panda is going to give you a list of things that you need to ask Mr. Marcus for. You need to ask him for a refrigerator so that you can store your food downstairs. You need to tell him to take you to the Dollar Tree so that you could pick out some utensils, like some cooking spoons, some spoons and forks. They got them $2 for $1 at the Dollar Tree. Butter knives, forks, and spoons for you and the girls. You need to get you some plates. They're $1.25 a piece. You need to get a drain, which they have those at the Dollar Tree too, where you can wash your dishes and then put them in a little dish drain so they can drain, and then you could have the girls to dry them and put them away. You need an air fryer. You need a toaster oven, and you need a microwave, because I noticed the other day when you was on your live, you had gotten upset with your siblings because you had called upstairs because your dad was busy taking care of your mother, and you got mad because you had some muscles and you wanted them to heat up your food, and they was one of them didn't answer the phone and the other one was acting funny, and you had got upset about it. My thing is, if you want to you gotta regain some of your independence. Obviously you're going to be staying there for a while. My thing is, if you're going to be staying there for a while, you might as well make yourself comfortable so that you don't have to be too dependent on anybody. Okay. That's why I said, if you get the things that I listed, you won't have to worry about it. That way you can send Noelle and Nala, or you can roll in there yourself and go in the refrigerator and put it in the microwave and heat it up yourself. And I'm not trying to talk bad about your family because I don't know them personally, but Sunnyi, you have a nasty attitude. You talk to people like crap. You talk to your supporters like crap. You talk to your moderators like crap. You talk to your family like crap. You live in a house with these people. You have to realize that you have physical limitations, and I'm not trying to make fun of you, but you need people. You require people to assist you whether you like it or not. You require a certain amount of assistance. So you can't be being mean to people. You get more flies with honey than you get more bees with honey, than you do with SHIT. So you got to stop being nasty to people. That's why they didn't want to bring you your food. Okay. And you don't know, I'm not saying that they would do this, but you can't put nothing past nobody. You don't know if those people are spitting in your food or doing something to your food. That's why you got to watch your tone of voice when you talk to people. That's why I said the first thing you need to do is get Marcus or some money from somewhere and get you a previously used refrigerator and get those things so that you can keep your food downstairs and go on Instacart, because I realize that you don't have a car right now and you have physical limitations, because I don't like calling you disabled, but you don't really have a car and you can't really get around like that. So you can go on Instacart. A lot of the things that you do, as long as you got you a credit or a debit card, you could type that card in, type in the expiration date, and type in the little number, the code, and go on Instacart, and everything. You can shop for your house and do a full cart of shopping on Instacart. You can even have DoorDash bring you groceries. So that way you can cook sometimes. And if you want to order food, you can have the girls to bring 1 or 2 bags down at a time, so you ain't got to bother nobody, long as it's not too heavy. It will really, really help you out and make you feel a little bit more independent, because I don't like to see you sad. I want to see you win. I want your channel to grow. But you got to start thinking of ways on your own how you could be a little bit more independent and a little bit more efficient on your own. You can't depend on people, because one thing about life that's guaranteed is death. And one thing about life, and I'm not saying I want you to die, that's not what I mean. But another thing that's guaranteed is people are going to flake. People are going to flake, and people move funny, and that's just what people do. So you always got to be prepared for people to switch up on you, even family. Okay? So, Mr. Marcus, you're not off the hook either. You are dead wrong for what you're doing to these women. You probably have a fit if a man did that to your daughters, because you got to remember, you got daughters, okay? And you never know. They might run into somebody that someday when they become women that's just like you. And I'm sure you ain't going to like that. You going to probably want to knock the heck out of them. But how could you when you did that to people? Okay? That's why you look so old in the face. That right there is your karma for now because of how you treat people that are mentally impaired and homeless. Okay? Every time you do somebody dirty, you're going to look a year older. You can sit up here and giggle and laugh and act like you're unbothered by what people say about the BS you're doing to these women. But one thing for certain and two things for sure, you care about your image and your looks. You look like a man that's about 60-something years old. When I first saw you, I thought you was at least in your mid to late 50s. Because of the gray, but even without the beard, you look old. You look a lot older than 40. I'm sorry. You just do. You want to create the illusion that you have it all together mentally and financially, but you don't. A person who has it all together don't walk around hurting people that are less fortunate than them. You're wrong, Marcus. You are totally wrong. And that's another thing. You don't like being held accountable, and you don't like nobody calling you out on your BS either. You like for people to praise you and worship you and tell you how wonderful and amazing you are, even when you're dead wrong. Okay? You know Sunnyi is not all the way right in the head, and we all know that because we can see it. She tries to act hard to hide the fact that not only is she physically messed up since the accident, but she's mentally messed up as well. That can emotionally do a lot to a person, waking up and having to deal with her situation, the lack of mobility, the fact that she can't really get out of the house like that, the fact that she's not as independent as she would like to be, the fact that she's 28 years old and she had to come back and live with her dad after, working and, being independent. That's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. That would destroy a person. I think it's sick that you're taking advantage of her situation for your own personal gain. The bottom line is you have to value yourself. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. And as far as Westindiecollection, she has champagne taste and beer money. She spends her money on all the wrong things. And as far as Marcus being nasty, he needs to do better. How do you expect your platform to go to the next level if you hump every beautiful woman you come in contact with? You're going to find yourself on a nice side of a lawsuit one of these days because you're going to run into the wrong one and they're not going to play with you. Never underestimate a woman that is scorned. Okay? That will be all for today. Don't forget to hit the like button, share and subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section. Thank you for listening to your girl. I love you all and be blessed.